Every parent has rules about their kids' use of social media and technology, and the Washington Post listed a guide of how to handle it when their friends' parents have different rules than you do. I mean, is it as simple as remembering you're the parent? Call me crazy.
That's a big part of it. I mean, my kids often say to me, but Janie can do it or Joshua can do it. And I always say, and their last name is? Because if it's not Hostin, it doesn't matter to me what they're doing. I can tell you what the Hostin kids are doing. But I do find that you have to also speak to the other parents because you have to know what the rules are in their homes as well. Right. I've heard these stories, you know, that kids see porn for the first time on their friends' computer at their friend's home, as opposed to in your home.
At your house.
Well, I have so many cyber sitters on my computers. My kids have trouble doing science homework. I gotta chill out a little bit.
I remember somebody reminded me, and I brought this up yesterday to you guys, about how when you send your kid to somebody else's house for a sleepover, ask if they have guns in the house.
Absolutely.
Who even thought of such a thing?
Absolutely.
You know?
I'm speaking from a little bit of a privileged seat because my child doesn't walk yet, so I haven't dealt with this. But I think you arm them for the world they're heading into, not try to change the world to fit them. So I think these are opportunities where you say, you know, every mom and dad has a different rule, and this is our rule, and this is what we stick by, because I also think it's the beginning of conversations where everyone else is doing things and you're not. So you want them ready. It's just technology right now. It may be drugs, it may be drinking, it may be smoking. Everyone else is doing it. Yeah, you want to arm them for when they're going to be the one person that doesn't do it.
And that's very difficult because when you're the one that's left out as a kid, when you're the one that doesn't have an Instagram account, when you're the one that isn't allowed to play Black Ops decapitation, murder, kill video.
That's not actually in the title, but I know what you mean.
You know, that can be very difficult. And what I have found in terms of this gaming, a lot of kids game socially together. They do it, they play together. And so if your kid is the odd man out, that's very difficult. And also studies show that this socialization with gaming makes them a better fit in the world and with their friends.
Listen, I game with folks all the time. And
that can be a good
thing. Well, it can be a good thing for kids, but I think that the biggest responsibility here always lies with the parent, because when you start your kid out by saying, you know, my mother was very clear. You say, so-and-so's doing it. She said, well, if they jump off the roof, you gonna jump too?
That's right.
And then you have to really think about it.
One thing that
my daughter does not allow Luca to have an iPad or an iPhone. He's not allowed, but he does it when he comes to my house. So now the kid's like, Nana, when are you coming out? I don't know if he loves me or my iPad.
Well, just know that it's easier. He likes you a lot. I've spoken to him. But the idea that, you know, in my house, these are my rules, and that has to, you have to stick by that, because these are not your friends, these are your kids.
But also, I would explain, just from, I don't have kids, but having worked with kids a lot and been a dean, one thing they used to come to me and say is, we don't know why we're not allowed to do this. So I think it's important to explain, if you don't want them to play a certain game, explain why. Otherwise, they go to their friends and they play the game on their computer and they don't understand your reasoning. And I think some of these kids, if they know why, sometimes they're more sensitive to taking the advice and understanding what the parents are coming from.
I don't know if I believe that. I believe you can give a kid an explanation and they can come back and ask you for another one and another one and another one.
Because I said so.
Well, it comes down... You know, it comes down to that. It comes down to that. When I say no, that's what I mean. And the consequences of discovering that not only have you lied to me, but you went over there and did what I told you not to do. You have to. You gotta follow through, though. You can't be like, oh, I felt so bad for her. We'll be right back.